Alright guys, we made it to Montana. You can check out that view out here, huh? We drove through the night, 12 straight hours. Our only stops, we made 4 stops for gas, and got to a truck stop and slept for about 2.5 hours maybe. And then we came in to where our camp is going to be and dumped our trailer with our wheeler and some of our gear, and we got right back in the truck. We were pretty much driving out here right at legal shooting, and we signed into some of the green box land, but there's just a bunch of hunters up there already. It is a Saturday, so you know the locals, they have all November to be out here hunting, so they're out here pretty thick on the Saturdays. So we decided we'd get off the road. So we parked. I'm about a half a mile in now. My dad drove around. We're going to meet in about 3.5 hours. I'm going to walk out to where he's parked. We already saw one whitetail doe and a big elk, big bull elk, either a 5-by or a 6-by, but he had one main beam broke off about halfway up the main beam. He was standing out in kind of a low area with a cow, so that was cool nonetheless. Like I said, a lot of hunters around though, so I think we're going to have to stay off the roads and we're going to have to do some walking. I'm going to head down this valley. On camera, it don't look like much, but it's going to be a couple 100 feet down and then a couple 100 feet back up the other side. So I'm going to take my time and hopefully I can get over this next ridge and maybe see a deer or two. I tell you, there's a ton of sharptail though. If I had my shotgun with, I'd have my limit of sharptail by now, which would be kind of cool. But maybe if I can shoot a deer one of these mornings, I'll get out and see if I can shoot some sharpies too. So, all right, I'm going to keep walking. I'm 1.5 miles off the road, and the good news is I have not seen a single hunter. Bad news is I have not seen a single deer either. Just been walking and checking these shady valleys and glassing across the big valley up those shady fingers, and so far I have not seen a single mule deer. I'm running across very few tracks, so I think it's time to start heading out of this area. Oh, almost 4 miles. That's a pretty sight, because let me tell you, I don't know what it looks like on camera, but that stuff is steep. That's tough walking. Just up, down, and not a single mule deer. And came into camp here and dropped our stuff and went out and hunted for about 4 hours this morning. Walked just shy of 4 miles and did not see a single mule deer. So that's not a good sign. I am going to get camp set up. We're going to take a nap. That is number 1 on the list. And then try to make a plan for tonight. We may have to stick close to the river, because the reports we got were there just are not any mule deer left. The drought 2 years ago was really tough on them. So if that is the case, we might be staying by the river and hunting whitetails. I guess it's better whitetails than nothing, even though I would like to shoot another mule deer, but I guess we'll see how the evening goes. Also a lot of hunting pressure, a lot of hunters out on the roads. You get off the road walking, I didn't really see anybody, but on the roads, a lot of hunters. All right, guys, well, apologize, I don't have any video of this deer. I was really hoping to get my hunt videoed out here in Montana. We hunted the entire day yesterday. I walked about 4 miles, saw a ton of hunters. I mean, we've never seen this many hunters out here before, but the general report was just that there are no mule deer. The drought 2 years ago killed off the vast majority of the mule deer. And in an entire day of hunting, I didn't see a single mule deer. My dad saw 1 mule deer doe. The spots I wanted to go yesterday evening all had pickup trucks parked on them. And these are spots that 2 years ago when we were out here, we never saw hunters. All the hunters were up looking for mule deer, but I think the majority of the people are having trouble finding decent mule deer. So they're down by the fields looking for whitetails. And the whitetails are not very big in this area. These are not irrigated fields. These are just kind of small hay fields, willow brush, cottonwood brush, that holds, you know, within a half a mile of the Musselshell River, you'll find some whitetails. And that's where all the hunters in this area were yesterday, was down by the fields. So it was a little discouraging. I walked about 4 miles, spent a bunch of time hiking and glassing, and we never saw a single mule deer yesterday. My dad saw 1 mule deer doe, and that was it. And then right at sunset, I caught this buck standing back in the willows by the river, and I was able to make a short stalk on him, get up on top of a hill, and I ranged him. He was at 240 yards and made the shot. And in that willow brush, when he goes down, they're down. You don't see him anymore. So I was in a big hurry to try to get over there with some daylight left to try to find this deer. And sure enough, he was laying pretty much right where I was able to walk to him. And then it was almost a half a mile drag, and that was a chore. He might not look real big in the video, but he's got to be pushing 190 pounds body weight. And it was a long drag, to say the least. So I didn't get much video last night, and then it was pitch black dark. But here we are. Went out this morning, and wouldn't you know it, the hunters are just gone. People clearly were frustrated yesterday. Most of them were Montana residents, Montana pickup trucks, although we did see a New York State pickup truck, a Michigan truck, a Wisconsin truck, and a South Dakota truck. But most of the people we saw yesterday were from Montana. And there's just nobody here today. And we did actually end up seeing about 15 mule deer this morning, and my dad ended up shooting one. So we both got bucks. My dad's got a smaller mule deer buck, and I've got this beautiful mature whitetail. So honestly, pretty happy. It was pretty discouraging for 99% of the day yesterday until right at sunset when we stumbled across this boy. And you know, I really wanted to shoot a mule deer since I'm from Minnesota, and we don't have mule deer in Minnesota, but this was just a buck I couldn't pass up. So I guess we're gonna try to enjoy the day. We gotta go get ice, we gotta get these deer taken care of, and we're gonna see if we can't maybe shoot some sharptails, shoot some pheasants, and enjoy our time here. So I guess we'll see you for opening weekend of the Minnesota firearms season, because we'll be home for it.